Hey guys, welcome back and Merry Christmas. This is not the second official Christmas tour. Normally I do one as soon as the decorations are up, sometime in November, and then another one in December when there's snow on the ground. But we have not had any substantial snow on the ground yet, and it is the day after Christmas. And I'm having a lot of people requesting to see the decorations. And since some stuff has been added since the last video, I'm making a new video. Haven't decided yet if I'm going to show all the fans, or just the ones that you haven't seen before. We'll definitely show all the inside decorations. If you want to see the outside decorations in full, there are two other videos that show them, one with a little snow on the ground. But you can see we have the sidewalk arches that go all the way down the street. C7's on the neighbor's house there. C7's on this bush. C7's there. More presents, more spiral trees. All the way down the block that way. This lantern full of sparkly lights that I like. And then, of course, the C7's all the way up to the roof line. So like I said, if you want to see more detail about the outside decorations, and then, of course, there's the reindeer there in between the houses and the back patio, which we might sneak a look at from the inside. And this wasn't there in the last video. I forgot to hang it. This is the elf wreath that my wife made me that I think is terrifying. So it's scaring visitors away from our front door. So here is the inside. Going down into the first floor and up into the main floor. And there have been some more lights and garlands added since the last video, but same general concept as every year. Every available angle and surface gets a twinkly lighted garland. Menards has stopped carrying these twinkling lights as of this year, so I'm going to have to hopefully again get them from Target going forward. If not, we'll have to find a different source for them. A big tree, more garlands, wreaths, some small trees. A little Christmas village. I call this Christmas village. It's really very random. It's just whatever random ceramic somebody gave me. So I show you guys the ceramic tree by the front door. I know I did in the last video. I love these ceramic trees, and I love that you can still buy them. That one came with an LED inside. The rest of them I've converted to LED, and then there's one battery-powered one that I don't love the coolness of it, but it is battery-powered. So there. Outside on the deck, we have the tree with more C7s. My Christmas neon coffee sign. That's the battery-powered one. I actually have a system set up to have it powered using solar from the window here. But one of the cords that I need to do that hasn't arrived yet. It's stuck in customs or something like that. So, more decorations outside. Mainly the main thing out there is the tree. Okay, so let's talk about the fans, because there is two differences since the last video. One is this is an A&G K63, Imperial. This was not intended to be the kitchen fan, but I tried it and liked it so much that it's going to be the kitchen fan. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Real quick, I want to show you the difference here. Is Rick found this amazing globe for the center here for this Imperial. This is the gear drive Imperial that you saw in the last video that was converted to GE motor. And Rick found that center globe, and even Nia likes it, so that's pretty amazing. So quick about the K63 Imperial here. I bought this. Someone emailed me after seeing my YouTube videos and said I have this for sale, and they sold it to me, but it was just the motor, and didn't pay a whole lot for it considering, but it was just the motor, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. I was probably going to have some irons cast and some blades made, and one thought it was going to be either a living room fan or a bedroom fan. And after hanging this, I said, you know what, let's try it here. And I just put some of the blades and brackets on it from the Canadian A&G, and made a video of that. That'll go live in a few days. And I liked it, but I mean, I didn't like the robbing Peter to pay Paul of parts, as well as I didn't like that the fan over here was larger than the fan over the table. They either needed to be the same size, or the one over the table needs to be more significant. And so I tried a whole bunch of different blades. I tried a few different fans here. My original intention was to put the little Calcutta here, and that would have looked great with the with some of the other fans over the dining room table. The Air Shadow, the Terra. I can't remember what else is over the dining room table. But when I had fans with brown in them over the dining room table, it would have looked perfect. But it didn't look good with this Imperial, and this Imperial looks too good here. So I changed my plans. This was going to go one of those other places with a full set of blades on it and possibly cast brackets. And instead, it's going to be here. And these are the blades and brackets from the iFan in the museum that I got back some time ago. And the point of significance of that is that iFan in the museum, the brass one, obviously, the chrome one belonged to somebody else, was not all original. I had found, or I had got from another collector who had found, more accurately, the motor, down rod, canopy, and then the broken blade irons and 3 blades. I think he found it in like a thrift store scrap bin back in the 90s. And then when I lived in Virginia, we had in my wife's kitchen a plain A&G. We didn't know what it was at the time. And when she moved out here, that fan got moved by someone who was neither one of us, somebody that her brother hired, and the housing got damaged and the flywheel got broken and a few different things happened to it. So I ended up repurposing the blades and irons from that plain A&G, which was a K63 fan, to make the iFan in the museum complete. So that was a iFan with incorrect blades and irons, but similar, from the same brand. So to make a long story very short, what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to make that iFan correct. I'm going to have the correct type of irons, because these are not the correct type of irons, cast for it. And I'm going to have the correct type of blades, because these are not the correct type of blades, made for it. And so then the iFan that was in the museum will be complete and closer to original. And that way this one is complete and closer to original, because these are, in fact, the correct blades and irons for this. They're even the correct size, because while you could have gotten 46-inch or 52-inch, the box that this one came with indicated that it would have been a 46-inch fan, which is what this is. So this is, in fact, completely correct, and I'm very happy with it. And even though it's a bit nicer and a bit fancier than I would have intended for the kitchen, these two together just look incredible. I'll get some angles from that from the living room. So yeah, very happy with that. Other thing I was going to talk about this fan is the Milwaukee Public Museum. So Pete and I both have childhood memories, and any fan collector who grew up in Wisconsin more than likely went to the Milwaukee Public Museum as a kid. And Milwaukee Public Museum had a lot of fans. In the cafeteria, it had ring fans. In the streets of Old Milwaukee, which is a lot like House on the Rocks, Streets of Yesterday. In fact, House on the Rocks, Streets of Yesterday was inspired by it. They had, I think, craft maids, something like that, something kind of plain. But in the gift shop was right up against the picture windows, had like a 30-foot ceiling, 20-foot ceiling, just an insanely high ceiling. Had some very cool vintage incandescent recessed lights. And then on one side of the gift shop was a K63 3-blade Blenderfan on its factory down rod, so very high up. And then on the other side of the gift shop, over the register, was a fan on like a 10-foot down rod, 10-foot spiral down rod that Pete and I could never identify, but we both were obsessed with this fan as a kid. And here's what I remember about that fan. I remember it looked like a Lady Delta motor housing shape with kind of like the scalloped housing on the top or rounded housing on the top. No vents, plain housing. Don't remember if the sideband was plain or filigree. Canopy was downward spiral. Canopy was real small. It had 2 pull chains. Had a very steep blade pitch. It flew. Had a very small switch housing that got narrower towards the bottom. And very steep blade pitch. And in my memory, it was like a 36-inch fan. So for years, we've tried to figure out what that was, and we couldn't figure out what it was. And we now, just through the years of collecting and having seen fans, it was probably the same A&G that was in my wife's kitchen. But in that, instead of black and brass like that one, it was all brass. And so it was very, very similar to this one here. The only difference between this one here and the one in the Milwaukee Public Museum would be, I don't believe the bottom was ornate. I could be wrong. Not sure if the sideband was filigree. Could be wrong. But I'm sure it's the same motor housing shape, same down rod, same canopy, same switch housing. I remember the Milwaukee Public Museum one having 2 pull chains, so that may have been something different. And in my mind, it was 36-inch. But I suppose with the housing proportions being odd and it being on such a long down rod, it could have been this size. It could have been 46. So this is basically that childhood fan for Pete and I. And so we'd still obviously love to find that exact version. And we've been looking very actively for pictures of that exact version. But having something close to it in my kitchen is great. So we've talked about the fans. I think I've showed you all the directions in this floor. Let's go through the fan demos for this floor. And then we'll go and see what little else there is that's different on the other floors. The Christmas hats on the TV are for date night games. This fan probably isn't changing. That one probably isn't changing. Bird fan is definitely staying there. So let's do the demos for this floor. Alexa, main floor fans low. Giving the time to see if that one's going to extend. So I don't know how many sets or how many bulbs of the twinkling incandescent lights there are in here, but I know it's enough to trip a breaker if I put them all in the same breaker. So they are spread out over, I think, 3 breakers just for this room. The tree is on its own breaker. Most of the garland is on the same breaker as the lights, the fans, the TV, just like the generic plugs in this section of the house. And then the ones in the kitchen and that go up the stairs are on one of the circuits in the kitchen for like appliance kitchen circuits, like a fridge circuit or something like that. Alexa, main floor fans, medium low. Nice reveal on that bird fan there, just in case somebody hasn't seen that before. So one thing I've neglected to do in recent videos that's been requested is to talk about the childhood significance. Obviously, I did about that, Milwaukee Public Museum. Didn't know that existed as a kid, but again, the Milwaukee Public Museum fan would have been in the same family. I learned about bird fans, the retractable blade fans, when I joined the AFCA, American Fan Collectors Association, in 5th grade, and got to see some Don Tossig, who passed away recently, a very kind antiques dealer in Florida who loved fans, sent me some parts and sent me some pictures and sent me some literature, and I learned about a lot of antique fans that I would never have known about if not for him. That's where I learned about Lavelle, bird fans, things like that. So that's where I would have learned about R&M Type H, which is one of my favorite antiques. For anybody watching this video who's not a ceiling fan guy, that's an antique from probably the 30s that I've customized. That's an antique from, you know, same era that I've worked on, but it's mostly original. That's a reproduction from the 70s. That's a reproduction from the 70s. And that is a vintage fan from the 80s that's not a particular reproduction of anything. My various vintage lighting in here is all from the 50s through the 80s. It's just, you know, stuff I saw growing up is what I like. Oh, did I point out my original ceramic tree there by my dad recliner? My two-headed pedestal fan that points at my dad recliner. Alexa, main floor fans, medium high. Anything else of significance here? Obviously, I have the little fixtures with flame bulbs. Those are here year-round. There's a Casablanca clock under the tree because one of the ones that I had got broken. And even though it wasn't her fault, Nia felt really bad about it, so she got me one for Christmas. We got each other a lot of really good gifts this year, actually. Well, I'll talk about one of them when we get downstairs. Alexa, main floor fans high. This thing is insane. It really works better with full-size blades, but this is what we got. This thing wobbles insane. It was not designed to be a full-speed fan. Alexa, main floor fans off. This stops first, which is why I've got the camera on it. I might be able to adjust it a little bit so it doesn't wobble quite so bad. One of these blades, the screw was drilled quite a bit out of clock, and so it only has... Yeah, I might be able to adjust that. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna... I don't know if that'll be better or worse, but we'll find out. Okay, that just stopped. That's still going. That just stopped. So it's this and the flare fan. I will point out, just in case it's not obvious, that there are no lights on here other than Christmas lights, unless you count, like, I've got these bulbs on, very faint. And the same with the one over the table. But that's virtually... don't think I can get those both in the same shot. Maybe I could if I went to the far corner, but... Okay, that one just stopped. So this is the longest lasting. I want to see if I made this better or worse. Alexa, dining room fan level 4. That's almost worse. It's hard to say. Alexa, dining room fan level 3. As long as it doesn't wobble on level 3, I'm fine with it because it doesn't get used much on. Alexa, main floor fans medium high. Okay, let's go upstairs with the only other very minor change. You can see, of course, all the decoration here. Nutone still hanging on. My only decoration in the bathroom is to turn these to red and green. I don't do it every day, but sometimes. R&M still there. Emerson Tristar still there. And surprisingly, the giant gold lines are still here. Only difference is I did modify the controls, so I don't have that fancy custom control anymore. I just have a usable medium speed. I'm gonna try something else in here at some point, but these are sticking around longer. I thought after we put fans in the church I'd take them down from here, because why do I need gold lines in multiple places? But they look really cool in here from a collector standpoint, and it's great in terms of, like, we've never needed to use them on high. Hey Nia. Merry Christmas. Yeah, what's your feelings on these fans in here? Yeah, she doesn't mind them, so who knows? Only real decorations in here are, there's the window candles, red and green. There's a little tree over there. That's about it. Alexa, second floor fans low. Medium low. Clock there. Banker's glass lamp behind it, doing kind of a House on the Rock-ish. So once again, I was supposed to talk about childhood significance of fans. Gold lines, I think everybody's heard that story. I mean, they were everywhere in Wisconsin, but where I saw a brown one was in my mom's polling place. And was obsessed with it, and unfortunately it's long gone. Control's still there, and it's got like a date in its place. Nutone friction drive. Saw them in a Burger King in the 80s and was obsessed. Never saw a small one though. Tristar I didn't see till the 90s when my aunt took me to a showroom and they were selling these, and I was like, well, that seems like a modern Blenderfan, which is exactly what it is. So love those. And then there was an ice cream shop built in the 60s near my parents' house called 31 Flavors, a predecessor to Baskin Robbins. Had a fan similar to this over each door. So that's the child significance. What? We'll edit that in post. So, Alexa, second floor fans medium. Off, high, medium. So that's the only difference up here, is that, so I don't actually know what capacitor value the front fan has for medium. The back one has 14 now, because I had tried 12 and it was too low, and I had tried, I'm trying to do the math in my head, it was either 16 or 18 and it was too high, so I split the difference. It must have been 16. So I split the difference and it's 14. So that'll be probably what they'll get used on the most. Like I said, we've never actually had to use these on high. And even though it's, again, way too much fan for this room, they do look cool. Okay. Alexa, second floor fans, medium high. This is the only one I think that changes for medium high. This is the only one that has a control with more than 3 speeds. My wife has been doing a lot of changes in her room, so maybe at some point she'll let me change the fan. Alexa, second floor fans high. Probably not right now because she'll be mad because she's in there in the cold with the fans on high. So just how cold is it in here? Alexa, second floor fans high. I can't tell if that back one's on high or not. Alexa, bedroom fans high. Something's rattling. Alexa, second floor fans high. I don't think this is actually on high. I think this is on medium.
You don't?
No. I don't have a way to change it. Here, let me pause the video. Yeah, I don't know why that wasn't going on high, but that wasn't high. That's high. Okay. Alexa, second floor fans off. I usually wait a little bit before pulling the pull chain because there's a little bit of a delay with the smart controls. I'm guessing this one will be first. Usually is. This one I put new bearings in when I hung it. And it doesn't get used enough for them to be fully unstiffened. That's first. But that'll be second. Don't know what's gonna happen next, so I'll go in here. I'm guessing it just wasn't getting signal, but it's also possible that I programmed it wrong. Yep, this one's still the stiffer one. Alexa, second floor fans high. See, that one's not. Alexa, second floor fans high. Alexa, second floor fans low. Yeah, I must have made an error in programming it. Alexa, bathroom on. We're done in here. Alexa, second floor fans low. Okay. Anything you want to say?
Fan stick.
Buy fan stick, yes, you're good point. That's not low either. That's medium. Alexa, bedroom fans low. I want to look at that. Okay, well, I have pointed out at least some of your Christmas gifts, and I'll point out some more when we get downstairs, so thank you for all the Christmas gifts. And anything else you want to say about any of the fans or Christmas decorations? Nah. Okay. Nah, and buy fan stick. Let's keep moving. Little mini tree there. The view from up here. I should get some pictures from these angles. Okay, let's keep moving. Let's go downstairs because there's a little bit of decoration downstairs. Not to the extent that there is on the main floor or outside, but enough to be in the Christmas spirit. And in addition to more C7s lining the music room here, I have a Nutone display on display right here. So thought that was pretty cool. In the past, I've done mini trees down here, but I didn't feel like they were necessary. The C7s speak for themselves. And can't remember if in the last video the multicolor icicle lights in the window were on, but they stay there. This is my other Christmas gift for my wife. This is my Christmas sweater. I understand it's caused quite a commotion among fan collectors, which I did not expect. It's a Christmas sweater, but apparently some fan collectors are very upset that my wife made me a Christmas sweater with my face on it. I love it. I think it's hilarious. My church does what you might call an ugly Christmas sweater competition every year, and I won last year. So she knew I would win with this. However, I don't think anybody could, in their right mind, call this an ugly Christmas sweater. This is a beautiful Christmas sweater. So let's go over the fans again. Abby's room has the Phil Rich. I don't think that's going to change. I really love it. This little Nutone Verandah Deluxe here. While this is one of my all-time favorite fans, I'm not sure if this is the final fan for here. If I find something better, I would swap it. Sonnet-Air has been there since the beginning, and that stays. The local mini golf place had that exact fan in the snack bar when I was a kid, and I was once again obsessed with it. This is another fan I didn't find out about till I started collecting, and I think it's super cool. Verandah Deluxes were all over my childhood, like gold lines. Brown and brass small one was in the office of a community center that I went to when I was a kid. So let's turn this to low. Here's, of course, the laundry room. It's the mass laundry room fan install. And the laundry room accent lighting, which also was kind of Christmassy. Alexa, first floor fans low. That didn't work, huh? Alexa, first floor fans low. She's gonna be difficult. Alexa, first floor fans low. Okay, that's working for now. That one I'm not sure what's going on. That's not low, but we'll allow it. Alexa, laundry room fans low. I think I did put these, I did take these off the first floor command because I didn't want to always have to adjust them every time I adjust the first floor fans. Okay, yeah, so we're on low in there now. We're on low over here. Christmassy, Christmassy. Low. Alexa, laundry room fans medium. Turn this to like a medium low. Alexa, first floor fans medium. That may or may not look different. I don't remember how I programmed that. I gotta figure out a better control for that if it's gonna be the permanent fan, because it doesn't really play well on the 4-speed. Alexa, first floor fans medium high. Turn that to, is that lower? There we go, medium high. Alexa, first floor fans medium high. I guess that's medium high. Alexa, first floor fans high. High for that one. High for that one. High for that one. Alexa, laundry room fans high. Alexa, all first floor fans off. Did that work? Yeah, it's just the smart controls sometimes delay, but it's working. Alexa, laundry room ceiling off. It's been so long since I've been down here, I can't remember what stops first. Is it usually this? I know the Sonnet-Air is always last. That'll never change. Don't remember where that fits in, but that's slowing down pretty quick. Yeah, I love that. That's not going anywhere. Yep, mini gold line is first. It used to be the CEC. Funny how things change. The veranda. Okay. Alexa, laundry room ceiling on. Oh. Alexa, laundry room fans off. Alexa, laundry room fans off. I don't know why that's not cooperating. Alexa, laundry room fans low. We'll get there. Alexa, Abby's room fan level 3.
I don't know how to set Abby's room fan to that setting.
Alexa, Abby's room fan 3.
Abby's room doesn't support that.
Okay, forget that. We know that this one's going to stop last anyways. Alexa, first floor fans medium high. And I suppose we can go to the garage. Okay, so even though there's nothing new there, we'll go to the garage. One thing that's kind of cool is I'm doing a workbench test right now. I've got some incandescent and LED bulbs in series on the workbench, and that's what's lighting up the garage, other than the motion sensing light. So you can see that back there. If you want to find out more, go to patreon.com/dspiffy. So we'll just do a brief garage test. Alexa, garage fans low. Alexa, garage fans medium. Bearings and that are making a little noise. Noted. Alexa, garage fans high. Alexa, garage fans off. Alexa, garage door fan back 1. I still haven't figured out the weird thing with that control. But the only time I have a problem with it is these videos. I can use it. I just, it works fine in operation. It just doesn't work fine for videos. But the worst case scenario is I have to call out the number 1. There's worse things to do than calling out the number 1. Oh, that one stopped when I wasn't looking. My B. I think that one's next. Very important childhood fan there. There was one over the cash register at a place called Johansson's Greenhouse. The K55 version in my grandparents' church. Not sure which version in my aunt's church. And then the Memorial Union had 2 in the formal dining room, which is an interesting choice for a formal dining room. Okay, now we're getting kind of neck and neck here. Let's see if I can get them all in one shot. That one's first. Second. Third. Alexa, garage fans low. Alexa, garage off. Okay. Well, if we get enough snow on the ground, I may still do my normal Christmas tour. If not, I will at least do an outside tour of the decorations with snow on the ground. So, as always, thanks for watching. Patreon.com/dspiffy. And most importantly, buy fanstick.